Hey guys, it's Spaces Sims, and we are back with more Charade Maniacs. It has been a while since I played because I have been having a bitch of a time getting anything done. But anyway, I think we're way ahead on this, but this will probably be... I'm not even sure where we are on this, but like I like to go back and forth between like my other game and this game, another game, and that's how I do things. We know this by now. I think we might already be almost... Are we in December or are we in January now? I don't really know where... Like, computer? What the hell is that? It's like a rocket ship in here. Anyway. Tomose's route. I don't know where that's ending in my calendar of things, but I'm trying to get at least one more route done in this game before Christmas vacation. So we might already be in January. I don't know, but... just to cover it, because I don't know what I'm doing, and I don't know, like, I don't want to be like, fuck, I'm only a day ahead, or things are behind, you know what I mean? I'm trying to get as far ahead as possible, so you don't notice a disruption in anything. But, with that being said, we did Tomose's route last time, and we started using kind of sort of the route order that's in the Otome Games subreddit. You know, so now we get to click on who character 2 is. I haven't done this yet. I don't know who character 2 is, but based on everything we know so far, we know damn well it's not Gyobu because we went through Futami by accident, and I really do think he's character, like, 6 or something. He's later. Okay, we know Gyobu's the locked route. I already was sus of that, but now we know for a fact. I do think Iochi should come before Ibana. And I was already sus of Haiji being, like, whatever. And I definitely think after doing Tomose's route, Tomose and Iochi should come before Ibana. So I don't think Ibana's the next one. I know Gyobu's not. I'm pretty fucking sure Haiji's not, because he's more sus than anybody. Like, fuck that shit. Again, gross. He's a child. Maybe he's pretending. Then I'll be okay with it. And I really don't know about the information team. The information team is still the one that's a little, like, with me. But based on the things that I think about the characters so far, my guess would almost be Iochi being second. Because I think if Akase is his partner, which I feel like Futami's route kind of made that feel like that's the case, you know? And again, I don't think Futami's route was supposed to be done till later, where you would know that already, so it wouldn't seem weird. I would think Iochi would come before Akase then, right? You know what I mean? Because I guess it wouldn't really matter, but I feel like if you went down Akase's route, right, and he's like, oh, I'm working with somebody from the Information Bureau, whatever, you'd be sus the next character you go down that there, you know what I mean? And I feel like doing Iochi and being like, whoa, you're in the Information Bureau? Shit! And then you maybe go down the partner route, because they haven't made it clear doing Iochi's route, like, who he was really talking to, where it would be like a flag. So you might go down another character and then be like, oh, wait, that's not their partner. And then you go down Akase's route and then you're like, oh, you're Iochi's partner. Okay. You know what I mean? I feel like that would be a little more than you're always wondering who works for the Information Bureau after you do Akase. You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like it's a bigger twist to find out someone works for the Information Bureau than working with someone. Because I don't know if Akase actually works for the Information Bureau then, or when Iochi said they had a partner, it was... you know, someone here that I'm relying on, or we actually work together. I don't know. You know what I mean? But anyway, my guess would then be Iochi comes before Akase. But I don't necessarily know. Either one of them could be switched. And then the other character I think could possibly be in the second spot here, if it's not one of those two. Again, I would lean more Iochi than Akase, but it could be Akase than Iochi, who knows. Would be Chigasaki, because again, with him and Dazai sus because we don't know anything about him at all, but Chigasaki is like always there helping out and being friendly, and that could be suspicious. You know what I mean? Like, but I lean more like Dazai's got more going on under the surface. Whatever it is, it doesn't have to be bad, but he's got something going on. We just don't know, and we haven't seen anything from him, so I feel like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like he's a later character just because you got to go through some of the earlier routes to maybe all of a sudden things come out about him or something where then you're more intrigued about his route. You know what I mean? Whereas right now you're like, if it went down his route, you're like, okay, I mean, don't get me wrong, I like Dazai, but we don't know anything about you. Shigesaki at least is kind of being presented as like nice and sweet, and I feel like he's safe, so I could see him being second. So I guess this whole 30-minute rant was Iochi, Akase, or Chigasaki are going to be the second character. I would bet it's one of those. Because it's definitely not Gyobu, it's definitely not Haiji, it's definitely not Futami, and I don't think you should get Tomose before Iochi. So, you know what I mean? And I'm going to think that they're going to do one from each group in the first 3, and then 4, 5, and 6 would be another from each group. And it doesn't mean it has to go in the same order of like cleaning team, cooking team, information team, cleaning team, but I don't think, again, we know Futami. So technically we've really only done Futami and Tomose, so anyone's up for grabs. But those are my thoughts, so let's see. Ooh, you know what? It's Akase. I didn't expect that. Okay, honestly, did not expect Akase to be the second one. Even though I said he's in there, I still really expected Iochi would come first. Before him. So maybe Akase's not his partner then. But I feel like Futami's route made that up. But anyway, so Akase is our next route. So alright. I was sort of 1 out of 3, but I really was leaning more like that he would be, I mean, he did seem pretty safe, but it was only the, so let me open up his guide over here, save name, Dos. I was the only reason I was thinking, I mean, obviously he's felt pretty safe from the very beginning, but I kind of felt like, I suppose I could have started skipping and we could have talked about who I thought was going to be next because they all skip through the common. Like, the chapter 1 has no choices and everything, so. Anyway, sorry. But I think I kind of felt like Iochi would come before Akase, even though when we were playing the game, before we did Futami's route, obviously, because that was spoiled a lot, Akase seemed like a pretty safe fucking character, and I think we made that assumption. You know what I mean? Like, he's a safe character, he's probably one of the earlier ones. But after doing Futami's route and getting to that point where Iochi's trying to calm down Akase and like Akase's flipping out about stuff, it seems like, it kind of made it seem like they're trying to hint that he is Iochi's partner. And then I kind of felt like Iochi should come before Akase in that sense, but So yeah, I probably would have banked Iochi before Akase, but Akase might not be Iochi's partner then. Maybe Dazai is. The only thing that makes Dazai sus is that one time he looked at his like bangle and was like, oh, I gotta go, and then pieced out, and it's like, are you going to meet Iochi? Is that it? That was that one tiny instance. And like Utami's route kinda, you know what I mean? So, I don't know, we'll see. But I definitely think he seems like one of the safer characters. The only reason I kind of, again, estimated differently was the whole partner thing. But, I mean, I guess, okay. So, if you've played this, and you did Akase's route, I guess it really depends if Akase is Iochi's partner. Because it's like, I can't go into it and see Akase as Iochi's partner, and then not be like, well, yeah, duh, it's Iochi. Because I know the outcome there. You know what I mean? But I'm curious if, God, it's so loud, the freaking game. If Akase is Iochi's partner, was it, you know, when you played and you do Akase's route first, does it take away from Iochi's route? Did you suspect Iochi? Oh, I bet it's Iochi then. You know what I mean? Or, so. We'll see, we will see. Oh, I'm so stupid. I forgot we had a common route save file, guys. I'm so stupid. We didn't have to skip through this. I have a common route save file. I was like, we have to start a new game, right? No, oh my god. It wasn't until I got down here that I was like, there's a common route. Oh my god, you guys. I would re-record this over so we didn't have to skip through and do all this shit and waste 10 minutes, but then I'd have to, like, re-explain my, thought process and be like, okay, so I looked, but this is what, you know what I mean? So we'll just leave it the way it is. Sorry, we wasted 10 minutes. It's all right. We do this shit here. It's fine. It's like, because it's been like a couple of weeks. Because it was so hard for me to get a chance to record the other game. Even though this one takes way longer to record, that one just, life was like, fuck you, you can't do this. Like, between having my power out and all this shit. So we are going to go to the park, which makes sense. Did we already technically do this? Because we were stalking Abana and we didn't get his route? Yeah, okay. I am just going to skip through it, like, whatever. Okay, so we're going to obviously talk to Akase, I'm assuming. Yeah, okay. Why did I follow Haiji? Why did I follow Haiji the first time we did this? Well, it's all Akase. You know? No, Haiji's the locked route in that group. I was like, you know... Ibana's, like, the fact that there's no way to talk to Ibana right now. But maybe if we say Akase's easy to talk to, we're talking to Ibana. Okay, anyway. So. Akase, you're a dependable senior. Now I have to remember all their voices, guys. It's been so long. Sina, you're so kind. I mean, I kind of remember his. Akase, you're too close. Sina, you know, you really get me. And as for you, Ibana, at your age and I will. I'm only allowing you to act like that because I'm such a kind senior. I never expected you to say that out loud. You really are a jerk. These two. Where did Haiji go? Maybe I should go and buy some ice cream too. I guess if you talk to, like, Akase, like, you say, Akase's so kind, that's talking to Ibana, and he's like, what the fuck? Okay, we go to the living room. Interesting. The guide's up a little too far so I could see the next thing. It's talk to Futami. I find that very interesting. Again, if we're on the theory that Akase is potentially Iochi's partner, but also knowing what we know in Futami's route, Futami killing Akase and everything, that in Akase's route, as we're doing this, you talk to Futami there. Fucking find that. I'm sorry, I find that very interesting. That's... Okay. Alright. Again, I'm still not sure how I feel about the Futami thing. I'm pissed that we did that route second, because I feel like that ruined a lot. But that's just on principle. But I still, every once in a while, I think of it, and I'm like, I don't know, the Futami being psycho kind of came out of nowhere. And I feel like they could have led into that better still. Even after all this time letting it sit and stew for one route in this game, at least another route in my other game, and I'm still like, no! Actually, technically 2 routes in my other game, because I did a route after that, came back, did Tomose's route, and then did... So, like, that's like 3 game routes, and I'm still like, yeah, I don't know if I feel that, so... we go to the yard. Right, because Akase's here. Makes sense. And this time, I'm sure we're going to do something different, at least, because last time, and the first time we did the thank you for always worrying about me, because we knew that was Tomose. I'm assuming the donut one, right? If I remember correctly, didn't he bring out the donuts? So I think the donut would be... Yeah, okay, cool. This donut's so tasty. Hey, it sure is. I don't know whose it is, though. It's fucking Ibana's, you know it is. Won't someone get mad at you later? Someone. Come on. Well, I'll apologize if that happens, so don't you worry. Anyway, you can have the last one, Sana. Here. Huh? Akase, don't shove things into her mouth by force. This is what I mean when I say you're overly friendly. Also, phrasing, don't shove things into her mouth by force. Don't! Just don't. That's valid, but also, good God, phrasing. But don't you treat the girls at times like this? don't you treat the girls at times like this? You treat the something about that sentence that's really awkward. I think I know what he's trying to say, but it's just doesn't flow right. Am I dumb? Probably. That's not the point here. I'm saying your methods are weird.
Regardless what you did just now, I'm in agreement with Bonjo.
Huh? What did I do wrong? And then we keep having our donuts and tea. Like, I just, what's up with Dazai? Because I do feel like Chigasaki is a safe character. So if Akase's second, but then it's like, Dazai's got, okay, wait, okay. We knew Tomose was the safest fucking bet in the game, so we really should have just used a guide and gone down his route first, because whatever. I don't mind that we did Iochi when we did Iochi. Like, I don't think that spoiled too much, so I'm okay with that. But Iochi did kind of reveal some stuff, so... But I do think then that means Iochi's probably the third character. Because I definitely feel like Iochi has to come before Ibana. You know what I mean? Like, what we've seen in Tomose's route... Hold on. Go to the living room. Okay. I think we've done this before again, so we can skip this. But because we saw Tomose, we saw an arm in the thing that said Ibana, and then Iochi being like, right, Ibana? People have been here before. Right, Ibana? Like, I feel like you can't do Ibana's route and then get that. I feel like those are, like, you know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't make sense. I don't think there was anything in Iochi's route that would kind of point at Akase or anything. Futami, the whole scene with Iochi trying to calm Akase down before Futami ends up killing Akase, whatever. Like, when Akase's freaking out and constantly, like, pushing the limits and stuff. That I feel like, again, because we know Futami's route should have been later. That's a little almost spoilery for Akase. Like, okay. Which it led me to think he was... I wouldn't say it's super spoilery, you know what I mean? I guess we're going to go on the information team, right? Because... Yeah, okay. I was like, right? Because that's where Akase is. Can I join the information gathering team? No, our team? You're always welcome. Sure thing.
Welcome to the team, Seina.
Things feel very cheery with Seina around. Just having you here, Akase, makes things plenty cheerful. But actually... What's up? Akase gave me a big smile and patted me on the head. That itself was fine, but he also messed up my hair because he rubbed my head like someone would a small child. Akase, you're doing that to a woman. Be more gentle. Oh, right. Sorry about that. Your head was just in the right spot, so I couldn't help myself. It's okay. Akase laughed a bit. It was something I always did to my sisters, so I thought to be more careful. We're in charge of information gathering, so let's do some exploring. We could also interact with the Arcadians. Arcadians? Do you think it'll work? I doubt we can communicate with them.
There's a chance. And then we're better off at least trying to talk to them.
Right. It won't be easy, but we might get some clues out of it. Right. It might be a good idea to check out past streams, too. They could be a good reference point. That's true. After watching the stream from last time, I was wondering how every one of them got the dead end. What do you mean? They were getting by. Okay, no, I just couldn't read. They were getting by while participating in the dramas. They were racking points up without major issue, I think. But some of them were disqualified as cast members. What could have led to that? I mean, I think it's funny knowing what we know in Futami's route. Like, what could have led to them destroying equipment, going outside of bounds, doing all sorts of shit that you were doing? How were they backed into a corner like that?
Well, there's no point you just sitting here and just thinking about it. I will investigate that too.
Right. Oh, here goes more dramas. So, I lost my train of thought, but it's okay. I'll get back to it eventually. But yeah, I mean, so far what we've seen, like... I don't think there's going to be anybody that's going to reveal anything about Tomose that, like, we don't already know. He's our best friend, hence why perfect first route. You know what I mean? We know everything there is to know about him. Everybody else, things are going to come out. But, I mean, based on Futami's route and seeing Iochi and Akase and then that little interaction, it was like, well, we already knew Iochi worked for the Information Bureau and had a partner. And that's why it made it seem like Akase was his partner. If he's not, then it's like, that's misleading in that case. But, like, you know what I mean? It makes you think, like, okay, there is a reason there's, like, kind of an order, because I guess you could probably swap Akase and Iochi. Yeah, and it wouldn't matter. Because Iochi doesn't say, like this. Obviously, we're doing Akase's route before Iochi in the quote-unquote route order. You know, whatever. So, but Iochi never said, oh, Akase is my partner. They just said, oh, I have a partner, but left it vague so that you wouldn't know if you did that route first who it was. You know what I mean? But there are still then other hints that happen as you're going through the game. Again, Ibana's arm and those little pokes that make more sense if you do those first and you're like, whoa, and then you do the other person's route. So it wouldn't make sense for Ibana to come before Iochi based on those things. I don't think. You know? Doesn't mean the game's not going to do it. Well, I mean, and the route order technically that we're following might not be like, I don't know if there really is one. I'm using that one because at least I can only see the individual character and I don't see the rest of it to kind of ruin things so that we can keep going and making guesses as we go, even though now I'm just like, why are the three characters locked if we already know before we get to that point who the fucking sponsor is? Like, you know? So, like, I don't know. Bird, are you okay? Making lots of peeps down there. Oh, okay. Oh! I used my strength to get up and catch my breath. My palms were sweaty and I was shaking a bit. I think I had a bad dream. However, I couldn't remember. My mind and body felt tired and I didn't want to leave bed. But I have to get up. Sunlight shone through the window. The weather looked nice outside. At least that's what I thought then. Of course it is. It's all fake. It doesn't rain. It never gets too hot. Now that I'm thinking clearly, there are too many factors that are odd. There wasn't a clock anywhere to help me get... There wasn't a clock anywhere to help get rid of that off-putting feeling. I was like, there wasn't a clock anywhere, and I stopped because I'm reading this, but the peripheral vision I could see behind the one light, and I was like, is that a fucking clock on the wall? Oh, it was the other light in the little entry hall area. But my brain was like, wait. And I had to look up and see it because I'm like, if that's a fucking clock, I'm gonna be like, bitch, there's one right there. Because like, look at the words on the screen. You can see that little orb, and you're like, it kind of like, as you're saying clock, a part of you just sees white and a circle, and you're like a freaking clock in a classroom or something, and like, ah. So for a split second, I was like, wait, no, okay, we're cool. And then that totally just threw off my like reading. I got up sluggishly, and I ended up going to the living room. Akase was already there. He was usually in the living room playing with his bangle on the sofa every morning. Morning, Sina! Good morning. You're always up early, Akase. Am I? Well, I go for runs every morning, so maybe I just have a habit of waking up early. Oh, so you're up for a run? Yep. You know, you don't need to be so polite with me. Everyone else has stopped acting that way with me. Nazai, Ibana, and I were the same age, while Akase was a year older. They'd stopped talking politely with each other, Kyobu included. I feel like I'm surprised he talks politely with anybody. Akase's really friendly, but it feels difficult to suddenly stop being so polite over text. I'll do that when I eventually get used to it. Eventually, huh? I wonder how long we have to be here. How long? Akase laughed lightly about it, but hearing that made me freeze. Sorry, my bad. Forget I said anything. It's rare for you to be so negative about anything. I think that yesterday affected me more than I thought, but it's even worse for you. Sorry. Akase, you should tell us when you feel this way. We all have it bad. Thanks for that. Alright, let's do this. He slapped himself on the cheeks and then smiled like he usually did. Thank goodness he's back to normal. I smiled at him, and then Chigasaki came out from inside the kitchen. 3 hours later, I clicked the button and I'm like, nothing happened, and then Akase moved, and then Chigasaki, I'm like, Jesus. Like, Chigasaki then came from the kitchen. Like, we're waiting for him, and it's like, Chigasaki then came from the kitchen! Like, he's not listening to his, like, fucking cue. Like, Jesus.
Good morning, Sana.
Okay, I clearly did not click the button like I thought it. Jesus Christ. This is a mess. Welcome to every fucking game we play. Chigasaki made a brisk salutation as he laid out the mugs on the desk. Only 3 mugs were out, probably for him, Akase, and me. Good morning.
Is that for me?
Thanks.
I was like, stop it. I just like 3 different... I like to have 3 cups of coffee, but I want them in separate cups because I'm weird like that. It's roasted green tea. Go ahead.
I bowed to thank him and then enjoyed the steaming hot tea. Oh, I'm sorry, right. Japan. Tea, not coffee. Whatever.
I couldn't decide what kind of tea I had, and I didn't want to mix them, so I made myself 3 different kinds.
Drinking something warm is calming.
Yeah, I think we can talk about this with the current members who are here. We chose our teams yesterday, right? The information gathering teams Chigasaki, Sana, Dazai, and me.
Oh, right. A lot of things happened, so that was left a bit ambiguous.
Well, since we decided to do it, we should do it properly. How about we start working on it today?
And that sounds like a good idea. Dazai, well, he's probably still sleeping.
I'll go wake him up. Sana, Chigasaki, you 2 haven't had breakfast yet, right? I just had myself a light meal.
Normally I don't eat breakfast. I'll just have coffee or tea. I'm not hungry either, so I'm okay.
Okay, then. I'll go and call Dazai. Hold on a sec.
See, when Akase is in side profile mode, cute. Again, there is this game where it's like front profiles are awkward as fuck, but like 3/4 or side. Like, Akase's side profile are like, you know, kind of hot. Front on, please don't. But it's the same thing with fucking Tomose. You're like, your hair is terrible. Don't look at me full on. But when he does like side profile, the 3/4, sometimes you're like, you know, that's okay. It doesn't look bad, you know? It's so fucking weird. I will never get over it. Case in point, because I point it out constantly. Then I was alone with Chigasaki, and I thought about the day before. I don't want to remember it, but I have to thank Chigasaki. Again, there's a few that every once in a while, their front profile, you're like, they're fine. Chigasaki's not full on. He's like, not quite 3/4. I mean, I guess that's as close to 3/4 you're going to get here. He just feels like a little more front than 3/4. It's in a weird range. You know what I mean? Like 3.5/4. Like 3.8/4. But like, he's fine. Anyway, I'm sorry for collapsing yesterday. Hearing me back had to be hard, so thank you for that. I smiled and sent him the message, but Chigasaki frowned. No, don't worry about it. Maybe it wouldn't have happened if I was more considerate towards you. I was the one who decided to remain there. Chigasaki, you were right to want to return sooner. Well, I'm sure there was a better way that wouldn't have been so frightening. Because then this is like his 3/4. So like the other one is almost like, does he have full front on? Like, you know what I mean? Or does he have like 3/4 and other 3/4? This one's better than the other one, but it's still better than most of the front facings. He trailed off and became quiet. I had intended on thanking him, but I just made him worry about me. Chigasaki seems gloomy right now, so maybe he's also feeling down about yesterday. I'm sorry. Oh, good lord. After a few moments of thinking, the bangles sounded off because I'd received a message. What? It's from Akase. Come to Dazai's room. I got the same message. Shall we go? Well, it still felt awkward. Chigasaki switched gears and got up. Thank goodness. I should do the same. We gathered in Dazai's room. Like, Dazai's front profile isn't terrible. You know what I mean? I mean, okay, to be fair, like, Akase's isn't terrible, but it's like you're giant saucer-eyed and kind of like adorable and like, you're not my thing. You turn sideways and it's like, now you're kind of hot. Like, It's just baffling.
So, why is everyone talking in my room?
Dazai sounded irritated. He also looked drowsy as he scratched his head. As Chigasaki guessed, he must have been sleeping until just a few moments earlier.
Sorry.
Oh, God, I don't know why I was reading that like Chigasaki. Sorry, but talking about important stuff in individual rooms was your idea.
It was, but...
By the way, before we start, I have to ask you something, Dazai. Have you ever wanted to escape? Have you ever even considered escaping? Huh? I thought this was about tasks for the team.
I thought that we've all reluctantly been doing those dramas so we can go back to our world.
That's not what I meant. I'm not talking about points or finding the producer, but rather trying to find your own way out.
I'd like to know how to leave, but there are other things to consider first.
Huh. This is interesting. Akase, what are you on now? What's happening here? You're like, so, Dazai, have you ever wanted to try to escape? Huh? Break out? Huh? Interesting. Coming from someone that we know was trying to do that in Futami's route, right? But, like, again, I'm, like, sus of everything every time someone has conversations with people because it's like, again, look at Iochi's conversation. Like, you know, there have been people that were here before, right, Abana? Did you know that, Abana? Huh, Abana? And then we see Abana's arm in the thing, so you kind of can suss out a little bit of... Plus, we already knew something was up with his arm. Come on! I at least saw that. I'm like, why the fuck are you only wearing one glove? Do you have a robot arm? What the hell's happening? And that was the arm we bumped into. You know what I mean? Like, they kind of flagged that from the very beginning. I don't necessarily know because the text block's always in the way, if you'd noticed the one glove. But I did because I love Abana. Okay. I love the little bitchin' glasses. We know this about me. It's pretty much my type right there. You're an ass and you have glasses. I'm into it. Done. Favorite character. I love the salty bitch with glasses, okay? But you know, so now seeing what we've seen with they kind of needle each other, little things, almost like hinting it's like, oh, all right, what's going on here? I don't know why you're asking this, but I feel like it's going to tie into Dazai's route at some point. You know what I mean? We're going to get there and be like, oh, remember when Akase was saying this shit? Okay. You know what I mean? I feel like it's almost like a little clue, maybe. A little something to whet your appetite for Dazai's route. Anyway. And what are those?
We need to get Seina's voice back. If we escape right now, there's no guarantee Seina's voice will return. Our first priority is trying to cancel out Seina's penalty. We can wait to escape until then.
You know, I want to be sus of that and be like, why are you saying that we can wait to not go back? But we already know who the producer is. I mean, the sponsor, and I don't think you're the producer. So I think you're just being nice. So I'm accept it.
If you have a plan for us all to escape immediately, I'm all for it. Otherwise, her voice is our current priority.
I see. Dazai's always worried about everyone else, including me with my voice. He truly is kind. This is like the first time we've really ever... I mean, okay, I'm not saying that like Dazai hasn't been nice in the other ones or he's been a dick, but it's like, he's kind of there, he shows up, says a couple things, and then disappears. He's like a little shadow. You're like, oh hey, it's Dazai! Telling Futami to knock it off and then leave, and like, so I guess it's not that he's not kind, but it's like, if you're like, who's the really nice one? Okay, that you don't know anything about. Because you can't say Tomose, right? Because you know Tomose is your childhood friend. But, like, Chigasaki's always there. We've spent more time with Chigasaki, so being like, Chigasaki's nice. Yeah. I'm not saying I don't think Dazai's nice, but it is kind of funny because it's like, we don't really know much about him, and we haven't spent much time with him, and he's always kind of, like, hiding in the shadows over there. So, like, interesting.
What's with the awkward silence? Did I say something weird?
No, that's not it. I just wanted to confirm your identity. Dazai and Akase faced each other. Dazai looked unsuspiciously while Akase continued. Uh-huh. Yesterday, Chigasaki, Seina, and I made a plan with Iochi to escape. We tried to escape during the maintenance. Huh? Why is he revealing that now? I thought we were supposed to keep that a secret. Also that, like, I kind of forgot that we made a plan to try to escape during the maintenance. Did I know that? I don't remember. That, and it's like, but if we made it with Iochi and Akase, that's making me feel like Iochi and Akase are partners, so. To make a long story short, the plan ended in failure. There were 2 steps to the plan. First step was to remove the bangle. Second was to leave the designated area.
We thought the maintenance was the best time. Unfortunately, both were impossible. The ankle's completely fixed to our wrist, and as you know, this town's surrounded by a wall. I see. Have you told the others? No, we don't know what'll happen if the producer gets word of this. Didn't you consider that I'm the producer? I did. That's why I asked. I think you were telling the truth. You wouldn't brazenly execute the punishment game if you're honestly concerned for Sena. Besides, I personally want to believe in you. You've been calm and cooperative since we arrived here.
And the way Akase is analyzing, you're calm and cooperative, and I've been analyzing you. It's like, you're on the information team for a reason. Because you work with Iochi. I am still on that.
Having you on our side would be helpful, so I hope that's the case. Anyways, that's it. Sorry, Chigasaki, Sena.
It's alright. I think you made the right decision, Akase. I don't object to this either. I don't want to think of Dazai as an enemy.
They are all so naive, you know that? What would Abana or Gilbu say if they were here?
Abana would just be pissed because somebody ate his donuts. It's been a couple days, but he's still mad about it.
I don't know what they're thinking, but I decide who to believe. I think it's insincere to ask for cooperation without telling them the important parts.
Akase's words echoed in the room. Hearing that, Dazai looked down and sighed. When he looked up again, his expression was completely different.
Well then, I'll also believe in you.
There's something about the look on Dazai's face right now that's like sus as fuck, though. He's like, if we didn't know who the producer was, not the producer, the sponsor. I keep getting them fucking mixed up in my brain. If we didn't know who the sponsor was, I might be a little concerned at the moment. But I was still always on the Haiji and Gyobu are the most sus fucking people here. But I hate the fact that we found out about Futami as early as we did. But again, I don't think, again, you find out later, like the sixth character, whatever, and then you're like, wait, but I was so on Gyobu's sus as fuck. And then you go down Gyobu's route, and yeah, he's probably got some kind of sin, or maybe he's a fucking murderer. I don't know. You know what I mean? He's like, oh, I like to stab people. I don't know. Maybe it has nothing to do with being the producer or sponsor, but he's got some kind of shady, dark secret that's going to come out, and you're like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Maybe he's the producer, and Haiji is just one of the fucking aliens. Like, you don't know. You start this game, and you're like, those two, producer, sponsor, whatever. Okay, that's them. And then you're like, what? No, it's Futami, and either there's a second sponsor that he doesn't know about, or, you know what I mean? And then you're trying to figure out, like, okay. And then character 7 that's locked is probably just like, well, maybe you've got more plot stuff in your route and that's why you were locked, or they had to lock one in each group. So, but I still think that's stupid, because technically, as long as you do one person in each one of the groups, you can unlock everybody. So there's really no point in having a character locked. You know what I mean? In that third group. Because why? You know what I mean? How would I know if I went down and did, like, the information team, we do Akase. Okay, technically we've done 2 from the cleaning team, but you did one person from each. How would I know who was locked at all if all of a sudden then the next route I go, you know what I mean? Like, I'm only guessing, but it's like, now that we're in Akase's route, we've technically, like, whoever is locked in this grouping is now unlocked, technically. Well, once we finish. But, like, so then I do Dazai's route next, or you do Chigasaki's, I wouldn't know either one of them was locked. You know what I mean? Unless they have huge plot spoilers. But, I mean, who knows? I don't know. They don't make it seem like there's a lot more going on. It's like, yes, everyone's got their little secret, but the main thing is who's the producer and who's the sponsor. So, like, if 2 of the locked routes aren't producer and sponsor, then what the fuck are the other 2 that are locked? Because we know who the sponsor is. So it's like, I'm still questioning how they structured this and how they did the locked thing and then unlock and then whatever. Like, how they formatted this, I don't think was done well. You know, because it does kind of fuck up some of the plot lines and everything, I do think there should have been more certain characters can't be unlocked without doing other things. Like, they should have put a little more effort into that to make it flow a little bit better and be a little less disjointing and, whatever. But anyway, now we're using the thing, so we'll be fine. But it still makes me question, like, who are all the locked routes and what? We'll find out when we get there. Anyway.
There's no end to the suspicion. I'm tired of suspecting others.
Exactly something the producer was... I'm kidding.
I don't want to distrust everyone because of a single traitor.
Although, wait a minute. Is Dazai the locked route then? Because I was on Akase and Chigasaki. I guess I was already kind of expecting that because I don't think Chigasaki is really sus. And between the two of them, but I also don't think Dazai's. So this is what I'm talking about. Like, out of the three of them, I'm like, I don't really think anybody here's super suspicious. So I don't think we're going to go down whichever route and then go, oh my god, you were evil. Like Futami, that did surprise me. Don't get me wrong. Fucking surprised about that. So, Dazai being like an axe murderer or some shit would be surprising. But I guess I was kind of already on assuming that it was going to be whatever. And if we're doing Akase, I figured Chigasaki was safe. So like, I guess Dazai's the most sus out of everybody. But again, it's because we don't really know much about him. So anyway, there's no point in trying to figure out the way they did this shit. So,
and then, well, that's what you said, and I actually quite like it. A saying that made me feel like I could trust you. I'm not as passionate as you are, Akase, but I don't want to think of the people around me as traitors. I want to be able to trust the people here, at least. I want to feel like you're on my side.
Dazai.
Yeah, I knew it. We're a team. One team, one dream. I choose to trust the people on this team, and I want y'all to trust me. So let's cooperate and gather intel.
I agree, but we're still in dire straits.
Yesterday's maintenance delayed the stream, but there should be a drama today. You need to be careful with that, Sena.
Yeah, I'll try.
Okay, that's right. Sena still can't speak. I find that unforgivable.
It's kind of sweet of you. I mean, he is our romance partner this time, so it's kind of adorable. That's kind of sweet.
I first thought that we couldn't get the traitor on our side, but considering that they did this to Sena, our friend, I'm disappointed.
Oh, I first thought that we could get the traitor on our side. Okay.
I like how he's like, I thought we could get him on our side, but then they did this, and I'm disappointed. I'm not mad. Disappointed.
That's worse. If you walk home and you did something wrong and your parents are like, I am so mad, you're like, I expect that, but when they're like, I'm disappointed. It's like a slap in the face. Why is that? Why is it human logic when someone's mad, you're like, okay, but when they're like, I'm disappointed. Ooh, that's so much worse.
That's a bit late for that. I just look at how they kidnapped us. They probably don't feel any guilt.
Maybe, but damn it, I'll definitely wake them up from this.
Wake them up? Don't tell me you're looking to try and persuade the producer.
Letting this go on isn't going to benefit them either. And I don't know what justification they have for doing this.
It's because... Okay, wait. Utami's the sponsor. Gilba's the producer. And the reason they're doing this is so that Haiji learns how to be a human because he's a fucking alien. Like one of those goo monsters. So he's an Arcadian and he's trying to learn how to be more human. So that, like... And help the other Arcadians be more human so they can go be humans on Earth. Hello, fellow human. Like, they want to hello fellow kids us. You know what I mean? So, like, maybe? I mean, we kind of have already seen so far that the Arcadians are getting a little more used to people and doing more people things. And Gyobu is teaching the Arcadians, like, charades and shit. So, like, you're definitely somehow involved, like, training these motherfuckers and helping and, like, doing whatever. So, like... So it has something to do with training the aliens so they can take over, or just so they can incorporate themselves into human life and not be like, called out for being aliens. Maybe that's why the whole that fucking moon base, because this has something to do with the fact that, oh, there was like the second moon thingy and then the moon base and whatever, and maybe it's because like all of a sudden the aliens and it was like, ah, blow them up, and then we're like, oh, something happened, we don't know, because they never really explain what happened. It's like one day it just blew up, and you're like, and no one knows what happened. You know what I mean? They kind of left that vague. It's not like a tragedy happens where you're like, you know what I mean? There might be conspiracies surrounding it, but generally it's not like, oh yeah, no, people don't know anything about that moon bay. We just pretended to, like, you know what I mean? It seems a little sus with how, like, Iochi's telling us about it. We're like, oh yeah, we kind of learned about that, whatever. And it's like, but you act like you haven't learned about it every single year on the anniversary or whatever. Why? You know what I mean? Like, and again, maybe that's just a fault in the writing, but it kind of makes it feel like, okay, something about this whole thing happening was really fucking suspicious. And they kind of covered it up, and it's like, oh, there were moon bays. That's weird. Like, you know what I mean? Could you imagine right now if we had like a second moon and a base on the moon, and then it blew up, and everybody just like, all right, whatevs? No, fucking no. The internet exists. Psycho people exist. There'd be fucking like all sorts of conspiracy theories and shit. But the Information Bureau was like, well, pretend that didn't happen. Doesn't that seem fucking suspicious? You know what I'm saying? Also, your bangles can control shit, and that's why our bodies are like zonked out and nobody remembers that we exist. So like, there's some kind of sus shit going on. We already know that, but like, how deep does it go? Yeah, I kind of keep forgetting about that part because they don't really bring that up. That's gonna like come out later, and then it's gonna be like, oh yeah, all that shit. But anyway,
the Otherworld stream's a farce, and no one's gonna end up happy with this. I'll make them stop.
I don't know. The Arcadians seem pretty cool with it because they're learning how to be human. I agree with Akase. His dedication to stopping the Otherworld stream's amazing.
Yeah, sure, he'll keep making passionate speeches.
It's a show of my determination. Feels a little more real if I say it out loud.
Okay. I don't know what it is lately, but doing the voices makes me tired. I'm pretty sure I sleep at night, but good lord, I've been very exhausted the last couple days. I've been doing a lot at work. And then, like, I don't get to eat my second breakfast. I just have protein powder in my coffee in the morning, and then, like, I'm trying, like, okay, let me just have, like, a morning snack kind of thing, like fruit or just, like, toast, whatever. But, like, before I go get lunch, but now I've been working so late and going past lunch and, like, whatever, and getting so wrapped up that I'm not eating till later. So I don't know if that's, like, fucking zonking me out, too. Like, my body's like, bitch, eat. I don't know. I kind of feel hungry right now because I ate lunch not that long ago, but, like, it's still like, what the fuck? Guess I'm just tired now. It's like, body's like, we have no energy. We haven't eaten anything. Again, that's not true. I ate lunch, but still. I haven't eaten enough, I'm sure, but anyway. That's admirable of you. I could never say something like that, even if I was thinking it.
If others can't say it, then I stand up and say it for them.
Yeah, I feel like you're definitely Yochi's partner the way you're talking. Like Captain America over here.
Anyways, let's figure out what guidelines we'll follow from here on.
I'm gonna repeat myself, but I think we should prioritize getting Seina's voice back.
Is it possible to get it back?
I don't know, but it should be possible. Just the other day, Akase recommended saving up points to ask the director.
Right, and we should also find ways to get more points so that we can get back to our original world. If that's the case, then it might be best to talk to the people of Arcadia.
Oh. His words immediately brought those mud creatures, the Arcadians' true form, to mind.
Are you serious? You're only saying that because you didn't see what they looked like during maintenance.
Maybe you're right, but that's all the more reason for me to go. You three have already seen them after all.
Did.
Talking to them is easy for me right now. It's best to talk to them if they're the ones choosing how many points we get. Besides, I don't sense anything bad from them. Haven't they been pretty friendly in the past?
He's right about that.
Look, if you insist, I won't stop you.
And then I'll check the past episodes of the Otherworld stream. There could be other people who suffered the punishment game.
Oh, right. There might be a hint hidden somewhere in there if that's the case.
Yeah, There are many of the past episodes at the library, so I'll go and watch them.
I have something I want to check on my own. Once we're done, let's report back.
Hey, how about we set up a daily discussion? There would be people in the living room, so we can hold it in someone's room.
I vote for Dazai's room.
Hey! Don't just go and decide on my room. Oh, whatever. Cleaning up will be a pain.
I know, but it's better to take out the garbage often. Your trash can's completely full.
You made my room the gathering place, and you're saying that now? I'll throw it out later.
Okay, so that's interesting. Why are we pointing out his garbage can's full? What are you doing? But also, okay. So, if... Again, I still don't know who Iochi's partner is, but Dazai sneaking off on his own... You know what I mean? Like, Iochi was meeting with someone in secret. Dazai got that thing on his bangle, and now is like, oh, I got something I want to do. And it's like, I've got something I want to look at, and nobody's asking what. Like, so that's... So I'm still on the, I don't know which one of them really is. Akase seemed pretty the obvious choice based on Futami's route, but what's Dazai really doing then? I kind of want Akase to be Iochi's partner because I feel like that would be a little better because then you're like, okay, what's Dazai doing then? But the fun part about like, okay, maybe it's Dazai, right, is because we know Iochi works for the Information Bureau. We know they have a partner. So it's more fun being like, well, wait a minute, maybe it's Dazai. You know what I mean? Whereas going down Akase's route first, finding out he is Iochi's partner, like, oh, I'm working with someone on the Information Bureau, and then you're like, who's in the Information Bureau? You know, like, I mean, I guess we'll find out, but I'm still not 100% sure. I still waver every once in a while. I lean more toward Akase, but that's only really because of Futami's route, so. Anyway.
Sina, what about you? You don't need to go outside if you don't want. Just do whatever you can.
Outside? I don't want to go outside, but we're going to go outside because we're going to go with Akase, I'm sure, if I have a choice. Can I think about it for a little?
Of course. You can team up with someone else, too. I'd be less worried that way.
What about the drama? If Sina's chosen as a cast member, how do we support her? For now, let's ask Tomose for help. He was the one who suggested it.
Okay. He's good at acting, too. If things get dangerous, I'll help out.
It'll be better to find a way to get your voice back as soon as possible. Anyway, I guess we're all dismissed for now.
Yeah, let's gather in Dazai's room in the evening. Starting tomorrow, we'll do a daily report.
I got it. Akase and Chikasaki left Dazai's room. Before I followed them, I sent a message to Dazai. Thank you for your concern. Not just with my voice, but everything else. Dazai looked at me with his eyes wide open. Seemed like he didn't expect me to say that.
Oh, it's not at all.
Huh? What does he mean? Ooh, oh, what does he mean?
I'll be get your voice back soon.
Dazai had a troubled smile as he saw me off.
Ooh! It's really making me think that, okay, you know what, I think whatever you are, you're definitely, I'm starting to lean that you're the locked route in this, because I really don't think it's Chikasaki, so I think we were already there with assuming it's Dazai for whatever reason. But now they're leaving little more hints and stuff with like, okay, what's going on here? I'm not saying it's sinister suspicious, but it's a little sus, and you're like, why? I'm into it. I'm intrigued.
I had no idea what that expression meant. I don't either. But I like it. I like that they're like leaning into it and we're getting a little more like, ooh, what's going on with you? I'm a little intrigued and I won't be able to find out for God knows how long. So I'll forget, but what do I do for the investigation? Akase said to just do whatever I can. But finding a way to get my voice back is something I should be responsible for. I should do more than simply what I can. I should work hard for it. I'm still scared of going outside, but I can't investigate without going out there. Maybe I'll feel better if someone goes with me. Find someone to go with you, do research at the library, do research at the lodging. I feel like finding someone to go with you, because research at the library is where Chigasaki is. Research at the lodging... We know Akase is going outside, and we want to go with Akase, so I'm assuming someone to go with you would be Akase. You know what I mean? Although I'm not sure why research at the lodging would be Dazai, but... Oh, we're in chapter 6 already. Yep, fine, so I'm gonna go with you. Woo! I wonder if there's someone who could go with me. I kept that thought in mind while heading to the living room when I saw Akase about to leave. Like, see, there's something about his side profile that's super handsome. And then he goes front facing and he's all like goofy. This giant fucking saucer eyes and kind of adorable face. And I'm not like, I don't hate it, but he's not my favorite because I was like, yeah, you're one of those adorable dudes where like, I'm sure your route's going to be fun and all, but it's like, you're not my favorite because like, cute face. But this, super pretty. Like, I said, it baffles me and it never stops. Akase, where are you going? Akase read the message and then stopped as I approached him from behind. He didn't seem to notice until I was close, and he turned around nervously. Oh,
I didn't see you. I was about to reply with a message.
I smiled at his exaggerated reaction, and Akase smiled back. See, that makes him sus, but I don't think he's... I think the only reason he would be sus, right? And like, oh, whatever, is if he's Iochi's partner, it would be like, oh, he doesn't want us to know he's trying to keep us in the dark. Because, like, he wouldn't want anyone to know that. You know what I mean?
It's nice to see you smile, but I hope I can hear you laugh again. We need you to get your voice back. Things feel different just hearing your voice.
I didn't know if that was meant to cheer me up or flatter me. Both? However, it was strange to notice how much better I felt when Akase said it.
You used to look so cheerful, but when I see you get depressed, it really gets under my skin. Anyway, we have to think carefully as we make progress. I'm sure there's a way. Definitely.
Akase.
Anyway, I'm going to the park. There are lots of Arcadians walking there. I'll see you later.
Oh, no, he's going. Grab him. We have to move forward. That phrase left a strong impression, so I grabbed onto Akase's shirt.
What's wrong?
I want to move forward. I want to be more cheerful and optimistic like Akase. But if I met those mud creatures again, I really should just accept it. I should separate the grotesque feeling from my mind and try to move forward. But although my hand grabbed onto Akase's shirt, my legs wouldn't move. What do I do?
All right, then let's go together.
Aw, it's kind of cute that he knows. He's like, I know what you're trying to say. That's sweet. Huh? I couldn't make a decision, but Akase patted me on the head roughly and laughed loudly.
Let's go together. If anything happens, I'll be by your side. And also, if I get scared, you have to run with me.
If he gets scared... That's cute. He's doing that so that we don't feel like, oh, I feel stupid because I'm scared. He's like, well, I might get scared. You're faking it, but that's cute. I appreciate it. I doubted that Akase was afraid of anything. He probably said that to be considerate, right? But isn't it nice? Like, it's cute. After I thought about it, my depressed feelings seemed to all but disappear. Yeah, I think things will be okay if I'm with Akase. Let's go to the park. We're like a little under time, but I'll stop here because we're roughly there, and then we will continue in the next part, obviously. So I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.